Let's take a look at some Dogecoin charts from this week's article on Brave New Coin. So in general, Doge is in and of itself a meme where there's billions of tokens. It's meant for playground sandbox learning, not for necessarily store of value. It's got 4% inflation, which is actually much better than most cryptocurrencies, but there is no cap on total Doge being created. It is a script algo proof of work coin, which is merge mined with Litecoin. So overall, the hash rate and difficulty for Doge just mirrors whatever's happening in Litecoin land. So you can see pre-Litecoin having hash rate hit all-time high, then it dropped 70, 80%. Now it's sort of stabilized and increasing ever so slightly. Looking at transactions per day and average transaction values, since 2018, transactions per day haven't really gone anywhere. Again, I think most of this is mining related. I don't think it's necessarily speculation related even, or sandbox related, learning related, anything like that. It's most likely just the merge mining transactions with Litecoin. And fees are actually quite low as well, not shown here, but average transaction value is way down. If we look at NVT, the line here, inverse metric of economic utility, and the fill, which is active addresses, monthly active addresses. In general, addresses have held up above historic highs over the past 6 months. You can see leading into Litecoin having active addresses hit an all-time high, likely related to merge mining. Again, not necessarily speculation or organic uses or anything like that. NVT has been rising pretty much since late 2018. Not something you want to see if you're bullish. You want to see NVT falling because that says there is more on-chain utility, economic activity than is priced into the market cap. So right now it says Doge is a bit expensive based on the market cap. Looking at MVRV, which kind of looks at when coins last moved on the chain and compares that to the market cap. Historically, lows in MVRV below 1 haven't necessarily represented bullish opportunities, early pre-2017, but post-2017 it's certainly represented by opportunities. Now, in general, anything above 3 has been definitely a sell signal. It says it's overbought up here. So seeing MVRV below 1 currently says that there's plenty of room for upside in the future. Looking at the GitHub for Doge, now they've had something like 8 releases last year, so there's definitely work being done. It's just not merged into the main repo. So it's a bit deceiving here that you're seeing all this activity and then it goes seemingly to nothing, but they are still releasing, the developers are still releasing updates to Doge. Looking at Google Trends, Doge is on a bit of a rise. Now I'm not going to get too excited here. I'm not going to hedge my bets either. This is definitely a rising trend over the past few weeks. If this can begin to break out, that says people are looking into what is Doge, where do I buy Doge, when did Doge start, how do I sell Doge, that sort of thing. Any articles on Doge, anytime Elon Musk mentions Doge, that sort of thing, that's all going to show up here in this Google trend thing. So to see a rise in this is an early bullish signal, especially when price is going nowhere, that searches for Dogecoin related stuff is up a little bit. Now it may be that because Doge has been flat for so long that you're starting to see more and more articles and more people talk about it in the expectation of a price move. Looking at technicals, I have a bunch of stuff on here. VPVR, yearly pivots, RSI. This is the weekly Doge BTC chart. There's not really a USD pair that's traded that you want to pay attention to. I mean, there's a pair on Binance.us, Doge USDT, I think. There are other USD related pairs, but in general, the heat of the meat is on the Doge BTC chart. So in general, it's buy anything below 40 sats, sell anything above 80 sats, just not trading advice, just that's what it's been. It's been an oscillator. It's failed to reconsolidate at highs historically. So in general, people are like, okay, it's been sold off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times at highs. It's probably not going to continue the 7th time. That's my expectation anyway. So it'll be surprising if it breaks above 106, which is the R2 yearly pivot here. The Bollinger Bands are currently the tightest they've ever been, other than once in 2015, once in 2016. They've never been this tight for this long, which again is another way to visualize this has basically been sideways for a year at this point. With each successive close above the median line, the red line here, of the 20 SMA, there's an increased expectation that there will be a breakout to the upside. You can see the two previous times there were breakouts accurately predicted to the downside. So what we want is week over week above 27, 28 sats, basically where it's at right now. Again, it's flashing red, but there's not a lot of like price movement activity, volatility in general right now for Doge. So it's going to flash 30, 29, 28, 27 on any given day. The VPVR resistance is at 40. So anything above 40 is go time. Anything above the yearly pivot at 45 is go time. Really what I'm paying attention to is the upper limit of the bands at around 30, 31. If we can get a close above that level, we should be good to go for bullish continuation. RSI is at 50, which in a vacuum means the trend is reset and or it is trendless right now. So there's plenty of room for upside, plenty of room for downside from a momentum perspective. Looking at the cloud, you can see this is on the weekly. Can't really do this with many coins. Because of the data since 2014, we can actually look at the weekly cloud and say, okay, there's a cloud up here, there's a cloud here. Big thing that I see is the TK line separation here. So anytime we see this, it's generally a signal that price will want to mean revert to the Kijun at around 55 sats. Any successful break of the Tenkan to the upside should lead to a move to 55 sats. And obviously you have this long flat Kumo at 100 sats. Those are really the only two things that stick out to me on the weekly cloud. Just the obvious levels to watch for, 50 and 100. And then on the daily Doge BTC, we have the 50 and the 200 EMAs, as well as the daily cloud. And you can see that it's been sideways for so long, such low volatility. The cloud is basically flat. It's zeroed out. Any close above the cloud at 30 should be bullish continuation. Now it's done that 3 times already, arguably 4, 5. But what we want to see is a high volume breakout above 30 sats with the close above 30 sats on the daily. Another way to look at it is watch for the break of the 200 EMA, which is around 29 sats. And the safest play would be to wait for the 5200 cross. But that may be too slow. Another safe play would be wait for the daily cross on the cloud. Also maybe too slow, just because this thing has been wound tight for so long that any momentum to the upside should get rather bullish.